We are on a little bit of a tight budget right now.
You want a bear?
I want a bear.
Something like that, I don't know. Anyway. Set an 8-minute chicken timer. Welcome back to my page, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. I am Mia, and today we are going to be doing a little mini vlog. I just decided to do this last minute. We are going to the zoo on a little date night adventure, so I thought I would bring you guys along. But if you are new here, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my page, and make sure post notifications are on, because now I'm posting a minimum of 2 videos, most likely 3 videos. It's a bit of a transition that I'm going through right now, but with that being said, if you guys like this style of video, or if there are any other videos that you guys want me to do, drop down below in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any video ideas, or if there's anything that you guys want to see a little bit more of. But with all that being said, I'm actually going to do my hair while we chat. Like I said, it is our date day. So my husband worked 24 hours, so he just got home today at 7 a.m. He gets done at 6. He got offered overtime, which means he's going to work again today at 6 p.m. and he'll be gone until Sunday, I think. Okay, so then he'll be home for church from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then he picked up another overtime shift on Sunday from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Or maybe it's not an overtime shift, because he works, his normal shift is Friday, so he's off Saturday, so he works Sunday. So it's his normal shift, but he took off almost every Sunday just because date nights, church, Bible studies, those are the priority. And this year we wanted to just be really intentional about that, because throughout our marriage it hasn't been something that we made a priority. So we wanted to make date nights, weekly Bible studies with each other, and weekly Bible studies independently a priority in our lives, in our week. So those things come before overtime. With all of that being said, we are going to the zoo. I have a zoo membership because the Philadelphia Zoo is not really that far from where we live. I feel like this is like actually so cute. It's like really not, because it's like kind of frizzy. But I just washed my hair and then let it air dry, and I think it's cute because I don't want to have to straighten it and curl it, and that's probably what's gotten to me. But like I said, it's date day, so we're gonna do it. Anyway, so this week our date night is going to be at the zoo, which is super exciting. Typically we do at-home date nights or stuff that's a little bit cheaper, just because we are on a little bit of a tight budget right now. But with that being said, I do have a zoo membership, which was only like 80 bucks a year, and it's totally worth it because it gives us free parking anytime we go into the city, and then we could of course just like Uber around around different places or walk. We also have my nephews, or if my nieces come up, then I could go to the zoo with them. I also did like a girls trip to the zoo last year, and then of course anytime we want to just switch up the scenery for our date nights, we can go to the zoo. I am totally okay with that. I feel like every single time I go, I see something new, and I enjoy going to the zoo, even though I'm in my mid-20s. Like, I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on that. I don't know if you guys are zoo people or not, but I definitely enjoy going to the zoo. With all that being said, my husband is at the dentist, and then he's going to like ShopRite or Acme or something just to pick up some grapes, to pick up some popcorners and some bread. We're gonna have some chicken salad. Yeah, we're gonna do chicken salad sandwiches for lunch. I don't know how I forgot that because I just cooked most of it. My husband usually does the cooking, but thank you. I'm recording, but the chicken and the celery and there's a bag of grapes in the fridge, but those are to snack on, not for the chicken salad. So you have to cut the grapes, but that's it.
Okay, so the ones I bought right now are for the chicken salad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that later.
Okay, but everything is in the fridge. Anyway, so that's what I was going to tell you guys. I prepped the chicken for the chicken salad, and I cut up the celery, and when I was doing that, like I said, my husband usually does all the cooking, but as I was cooking, I realized that we are running low on our spices. Now, I did fill all the spices and put all the labels on them. If you guys are interested in like more organization videos and stuff like that, like things that we have around our house, definitely drop down below in the comments and let me know, because I would love to do a video on different things that I've done around the house to organize. But I noticed that they were running low, and I feel like maybe that's just like a man thing to like wait until something is absolutely empty before filling it back up. So needless to say, I filled that up. But with all that being said, I made a bag of grapes just to snack on, because I am going to make a chocolate protein shake before we head out. I'm going to do that for breakfast, and then we'll have the chicken salad for lunch, and then we'll be home by like, I think we have to leave around like 4, just so that he can get home and like do whatever he needs to do to get to work by 5. Something like that, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, now I am just getting dressed. He is downstairs prepping for like making the rest of the salad, and then we got some popcorners, or he got some popcorners, so we'll have that as like a snack, and as soon as I'm done and he's done, we're gonna head out. And oh, also, I forgot to add, we are also doing our weekly Bible study at the zoo, which is not something we usually do. Last week we did our Bible study at like a park up the street while there was a showing at the house. We did it up the street, and it was so fun. It was like just nice to have like a change of environment. Usually we just do it at like the kitchen table, which is nice and it's super intimate. But we were talking, my husband was sharing like a story with me about how like a guy that he knew at church or something was sharing how he came to church and it like completely changed his family. When he was working at like a bank or something, a guy was like inviting someone to church and like telling him about church, and this guy who was telling the story, who was at church, he was underneath like the teller table, like working on something, and he heard the guy talking about church, and he told his wife like, hey, like we're gonna go to church. So basically the moral of his story was like, you don't know who's around, and like you don't know who's listening or like who's watching you. And I have done several Bible studies in public with my friends, and people are so often like asking us like what we're doing. We've gotten some comments about like, you know, how not a lot of people do Bible studies, and it's just opened up the door to spread the word, to share the gospel. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people, the hardest thing about like sharing the gospel is like that initial like, how do I just walk up to someone and say like, hey, do you know Jesus? Which like, we'll do it. But I feel like when you're out in public, this is probably the easiest way to evangelize, because people will just like naturally ask you like, what are you doing? And that just opens up, like that opens up the floodgates, because then you're able to tell them all about your best friend Jesus. And so yeah, we are going to do our Bible studies at the zoo today, and I'm very excited about that, and we will take you guys along for the ride. Alright, so now I am ready to go. I just threw in some quick curls, and I realized halfway through my head that I did not straighten it first. I just went straight for the curling iron, but I don't think that it turned out like super bad, so we're not going to redo it because that would be wild. Now I am ready to go downstairs. With that being said, I did also forget to add, when I finished cooking and came upstairs, I did leave the kitchen completely clean, because when I cook, I am more of the clean as you cook type of person. So I'm not like a 50,000 utensils type of person. I'm not a all over the place. I like to use one area, and when I'm done, I like to rinse everything off and put everything away and wipe up the counters, and for things to just like be in one spot. My husband is downstairs right now cooking, so I wonder if things are back all over the place, because he is the complete opposite with me in that. But that's fine, because we came up with a system and the system works. So let's check it out. Definitely not as bad as I thought it would be. One area like I'm influencing.
Hello. Apparently flamingos quack like ducks. It also kind of sounds like a turkey. It looks like a lion in the face.
It does, doesn't it?
Brother Boo. Coda! What's the zebra's name in Madagascar? This is literally what I look like at 9 o'clock at night, because he is chilling. This looks a little scary. It is like a cross between a pig, like an anteater, because why is its nose like that? Oh, look at that one. He is reaching over the gate. Sir, that is against the rules. I think the giraffe's name from Madagascar is like Monty. Wait, is the zebra's name Monty?
No, I think you're right.
Do you know the hippopotamus song? Come on. I knew there was a song about a hippopotamus. Now, why you would want a hippopotamus for Christmas? Oh. Beyond me.
I heard they're really dangerous.
Hungry, hungry hippo. Mm-hmm. Yikes. These ones are called sloth bears, but they're the most energetic animal I've seen all day. Oh, were they eating? I think someone just gave them food. That's why. Okay, I feel you. She throwing them food. That is why they up like this. I totally feel that. Rhino, unless there's food involved, then I'm a sloth bear. They look like big furry dogs.
I want one.
You want a bear?
I want a bear. Guys in Russia have a bear.
This ain't Russia.
Oh my goodness, look, it's another one.
Sharing is caring, brother. He said, I got another one.
Aww.
Bye, Felicia.
Look at him. That breeze feels so good.
He literally heard me calling. That's why he's over here like this.
Simba.
Whoa. I think this is the closest I've ever been to a lion in my whole life.
Hi.
It actually looks bigger, like closer. Yeah, because it was all the way over there.
I know.
Hello friends, so I finally made it home. I desperately need another shower. It's like 80 degrees today, and thank God I wore a dress with short sleeves instead of a dress with long sleeves because I was sweating a lot. But with all that being said, some tips for weekly date nights and for how to make that cheaper, how to make that something more affordable. Like I already said, if it's a priority, if it's something that that you value, make sure that it comes first. Even before overtime, even before picking up an extra shift, I understand when money is tight, it's hard to say no to extra money or overtime, but I promise you, taking rest from work, setting your priorities straight, and really living that out will make such a huge difference, because it's one thing to say that we value our marriage, and it's another thing to like actually do that. So with that being said, one of the most helpful things for our budget has been memberships. So for instance, today, if we would have went to the zoo, like just go to the zoo, it's about $30 a person for an adult, and that's each person, plus parking is $17. So had we just gone to the zoo, it would have cost us about $77 to go there one time, whereas I got a membership. So the membership is $84, and that covers 2 people and 2 children. So anytime, like I said, if I wanted to bring my sister and her 2 boys, I can do that and use the membership, and then it's included. You don't have to pay again. I can bring my nephews with my husband, I can come with my friends and get like 1 other adult free, or we could just keep going for weekly date nights. I mean, we went for about 4 hours. The first 2 hours we just did like a Bible study right in the front area. There was like a fountain, there were kids running around, and we kind of just like sat there under the tree in the shade, and I studied Ephesians, my husband studied 1 Peter, and then in the last hour we studied the book of James, or we went over what we learned individually, and then we studied James for like however much time we had left. And then for about 2 hours we walked around the zoo. So like, you obviously cannot get around the zoo and see everything in 2 hours, which is okay. I don't know why like our brains do not compute that it is okay to do a date from noon to 4. Like if your kids are in school for the day, or if they're in daycare and that is the time that is good for you to go on a date, like make it work. We went from 12 to 4, we got home, it's like 5 now, and then my husband just like immediately put on his uniform and headed out to work because he has to be there by 6. As far as keeping everything under budget, like my husband even said, like, I'm so proud of us because we packed our lunches, we packed snacks, we packed our Bibles, we had such a fun time, and we did not spend any money over what I already spent for this membership. Like, that's it. So I definitely love that. I don't know if I mentioned already that we were considering getting a membership for Longwood Gardens. That place is also super nice and probably would have been a little bit more serene to do a Bible study at, but I'm not a super like gardening person. I like the animals. I enjoy seeing animals and stuff, so that to me is just like more fun. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but check out what's in your area. Last year we did a Regal membership, so that also was super beneficial because every single week we would go to the movies together. Now with that being said, you don't get a lot of talking time. It's a shared experience, which is nice, and you're getting out of the house, which is nice, but you're not really you're not able to talk. And I like this, like where if we went to the zoo every single week, like, and did a Bible study every single week, I prefer that because we're talking, we're learning, we're growing in faith and in love. And to me, like, that is the point of dating your spouse. So if you guys are more movie people and that's what floats your boat, check out like subscriptions in your area, whether that is a garden or a zoo or the movies, like whatever subscriptions there are, water park, like figure out what's in your area, what makes sense for you guys, and just do that because it will make it a lot easier. It also is like more helpful because when we were doing the Regal, like we were like, okay, we know for our weekly date night we're going to the movies, so every week we would just pick a movie. It also did suck, the movie thing, because there's A, not a lot of movies, B, not a lot of Christian movies that are like not inappropriate, and C, the times and stuff, like sometimes we would have to go like super late and we're like early birds, so there are some like drawbacks with the movie membership. But if you're a movie person, if you're a late night person, that could totally be your drive. But if you guys have any other free or cheap date night ideas, drop down below in the comments, let a girl know. I'm always open to new ideas. I am always open to learning about free stuff because I'm all over that. I love going on Facebook, Google for like free events, stuff that's going on, fairs. I know our town does like movies in the park and like free like they're just concerts, like free like concerts and stuff. Like go do that in the town. If you guys have any other free or cheap date ideas, help a sister out, drop down below in the comments, let me know what they are. But our goal is to do 1 weekly date night and 1 weekly Bible study. So this was definitely helpful because we were able to just like combine that into one. Like I said, my husband was studying 1 Peter, so we talked about submission of a wife, what that looks like, modeling that to our children, like how to teach your children what to look for in a spouse. Like these are just like all things that like we didn't really grow up knowing or learning. So we were just like talking about like the importance of like the characteristics to look for in a wife and in a husband. We also learned in James, literally the greeting says to the 12 tribes or to the 12 disciples, and how like the 12 disciples represent the 12 tribes. And I was mind blown. Like I have read the Bible cover to cover and have never made this connection. 12 tribes, 12 disciples. Am I the only one who didn't make this connection? Moving on. So in Ephesians, I was learning about spiritual giftings, and basically what Paul was saying is like spiritual giftings are not just monetary. Like when we think spiritual giftings or blessings, we think monetary. We think Jeremiah 29:11. We think he's gonna prosper us, and that means like in a financial way, a temporal way. In this verse, like it was talking a lot more about how spiritual giftings are things like salvation, things like eternal life, things like forgiveness, things that come through Christ that are eternal and not temporal. Not that it's not like both, but like focusing on the fact that like spiritual giftings from God that are eternal are so much more valuable to us than the temporal blessings, which are great. But yeah, so that's kind of what we talked about with our little Bible study today. And we had some really in-depth conversations, which I love. And I was talking to my husband today about this because we do at a minimum do it for an hour. But I was saying like, it's not like we spend an hour studying James or an hour studying Ephesians or an hour studying 1 Peter. Like if we have a conversation about 1 Peter and that takes us a whole 2 hours, like that's the Bible study then. If we talk about Ephesians, if we talk about James for the whole time, if we want to go over, or if we like got something that was like so good and we feel like I just need to dwell on this. It's not about like the religious activity of we have to study the Bible for an hour a week. It's more about having biblical conversations, learning and growing in our relationship with God. With that being said, if you guys made it this far in the video, drop down below and comment your favorite zoo animal, and let me know if you guys have any prayer requests, if you have any video ideas. I would love to make more videos. I would love to know what you guys are interested in seeing more of, or what you guys are interested in seeing less of. But while you're down there, don't skip over the description because that is where I have discount codes for any of the brands that I'm working with. I currently have Seek Jesus down there as well as Essentials, and it does not cost anything extra to use my code or to use my referral link. It just helps support me, my family, and this page. With that being said, I also have my Etsy shop linked down below in the description, and on there you will see Christian biblical resources. I actually just uploaded a kids biblical affirmation coloring book, so you could use that for homeschooling. You could use that for really anything, even if you just like coloring and you want a coloring book that has Bible verses and affirmations. Head over to my Etsy shop and grab that. But at a bare minimum, if you like this video, if you like this video style, you would like to see more of this, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my page, and make sure post notifications are on because I do post at least 2 to 3 videos a week, so I don't want you to miss that. But until then, be blessed, and I'll see you guys next time.